Imagine this. You have a child in high school who loves to play sports. You're coming home from work, and as soon as you get home, they run and jump into the shower. 10 minutes, 20, 30, an hour goes by, and you still hear water going down the drain. This is money going down the drain. Teenagers get lost with the relaxation of the water and do not know when to get out. Did you know that if you shower for 1 hour every single day, it's going to cost you more than $1,000 on showering alone? This is a problem, and InstaEcho has a solution. Hello, my name is Daniel Chavez, and I am CEO of InstaEcho.
Hello, my name is Emeka, and I am secretary.
Hi, my name is Alejandro Maya, and I'm CFO.
Hello, my name is Naraya, and I'm CIO.
My name is Jesus, and I'm the CMO.
This is the InstaEcho team. The cost of your shower. If you shower for 10 minutes every single day, it's going to cost you $15 a month. This may not sound a lot, but this is showering alone. If you shower, some of us teenagers shower for an hour long. If you shower for an hour long a month, it's going to cost you $90 a month, equivalent to more than $1,000 a year. This is just on showering alone. Cost of the shower is the third most expensive water wasting in your household. This is why we've come up with a solution. To build a shower head that will track in time showers, showing water usage, and tells you when to get out, saving water, saving money. By being able to shower at consistent times, we'll be able to save resources all across the United States.
This is our competition. Our first competitor is Everdrop, and Everdrop is a shower head with many features, but like us, they're not in a final production stage, like they don't have a final product, and their price is $109. Our second competition is Moen Showers. Moen Showers is another shower head with many features, and depending where you get it from, their prices ranges from over $300 to over $1,000. And our third competition is Kentech. And Kentech is an alarm/timer that you can put on a shower head, and depending where you get it from, the price may vary. This is our UVP. So with any device, you're able to connect through Bluetooth, and from there, you're able to track your water usage and set alarms for your shower. And from the shower, you're allowed.
With the shower head, you're allowed to see how much water you are using at that moment in time. So you can see, through the month, I wasted X amount of water. I have saved X amount of water by shortening your shower time usage. We plan on developing an app that will be able to, so you can check how much you are wasting and saving at a very light speed information. By using this, we plan on to encourage teenagers or any user to get out the shower by timing them through this app. After your time is up, you'll get a warning, such as audible warning or a flash for those that cannot hear, to let them know that their shower is almost up. And when the shower is up, the water flow is going to decrease, encouraging people to get out the shower, because now the shower is less enjoyable.
So this is our TAM, SAM, and market share. For our TAM, we are planning to reach out to people in the United States, Americans that shower. It will be 35.5 million. And for our SAM, our sizable addressable market, that would be within California, every American that showers, so it would be 24 million. And for our market share, we are planning to reach 500 people in the West Coast. We're planning to reach 500 people because we are a startup business and we are planning to start off small, but with 500, we will make a big revenue income.
For our MVP results, we have attended 2 MVP nights. Now from those MVP nights, they didn't consist of as much traffic and flow as we were hoping for, so we took matters into our own hands and have conducted 100 surveys. Now from those surveys, we inputted very valuable information on our product and got to know more about how the potential customer felt about it. So the surveys helped us debate what price to range our product at, along with allowing us to know what features were and were not working.
This is our social media, our Instagram. This is where we're going to market to our potential customers. We also have a Facebook, and we plan to make a Twitter account later down the line. We have about $2,000 for advertising.
Social media is very important in the business, not only to get as many followers as we can for potential customers, but to drive these followers into our website where people can make pre-orders, and also with this traffic, hopefully we can make sales.
This is just the cover page of our website. If you'd like to know more and see our website at the end of our presentation, I'll be happy to show you.
So this is our three-year revenue projections. For our first year, we are planning to reach a goal of $60,000 of revenue. For our second year, we are planning to reach a goal of $94,000 of revenue. And for our third year, we are planning to reach $140,000. For our funding, so we are asking for $20,000 with 10% equity. Our pre-money valuation is $139,000, and our post-money valuation is $154,000.
Where exactly is this money going? We have did some research and we believe just to start up, we're looking for legal costs, app production, 500 boxes, 500 units, and also money for our advertising. This would all be used. If you look at the second to the last page, some of these numbers are more specific in how much we plan on investing in each category.
So our exit strategy we are planning to maintain this business for 3 years, and after the 3-year plan, we are planning to actually sell it to a financial buyer.
Our mission is to time your shower usage to help you save water and money.
By joining us in this journey for saving resources, we'll be able to prevent the next drought here in the valley and also help parents and homeowners, anyone with a shower, to save money, save water, helping us with our resources and benefiting everyone across the world. Join us in saving water, saving money. Thank you.
So in looking, you indicated that you conducted 100 surveys. What were some of the findings of that survey effort?
That people felt we could price, because we told them how we were thinking about pricing the product around $60. And some of them felt we could price it higher for the features we were putting into it. And they felt we could go for maybe $130 and even up.
So in pricing the product, did survey response have an opportunity to pick a price range?
Yes, because we decided that this information was this is a new product. It varies because I see mowing showers, $300,000 to thousands of dollars, even remodeling your shower. And there's also cheap alternatives, $5, $10, $15. So instead of going out and guessing an answer, we decided let's talk to our market. And that's why we conducted our surveys.
Okay, so what was the mean average price point? So for 100 respondents, what was the average price that consumers focused on?
The cheapest we got was $20 and the most expensive was $200. So we got an average of $60 for our product. And with this, with our product, if we price it at $60, it'll pay for itself in 2 months. And the rest of that, you are saving money in the household.
She was saying that people were responding at $120, and you're saying that it was saying 60. So which one is it?
Right, people had given us feedback of $120, however, we got an average of.
I just gave an example.
Okay. That number actually is extremely important to figure out. Your competitor, I heard that you said the competitor is selling at 115, is that right? One of the competitors. So there's an interesting phenomenon when it comes to sales where you would think, oh, if I just price it way cheaper, that people are going to buy my product. But actually what sometimes happens is that people think that you're getting a knockoff. And people start buying it less. And you can look at different studies where brands sell product for dirt cheap, and then all of a sudden they actually bump up the cost and they're selling it, they actually start moving more units. So the research that you're doing when it comes to price point is extremely important. And I would continue doing that, get thousands of people if you can. The more data you have behind that, the better. So I would say with that. That being said, the unit you have on here, licensing. So is this a product that you've developed or you're going to develop, or someone has already developed it and you're licensing that? So this says $8,000 for licensing here. So what's that licensing?
Correct. So we do have a manufacturing in Alibaba that has somewhat sort of what our product wants. And all we have to do is email them our suggestions and changes that we want to make so they can sell it here in the United States. Now with that, we had ideas of manufacturing our own product, and so we messaged Enhance, prototype making company, and they gave us a quote of $8,000 just for licensing alone to present it to other companies, or manufacturers, sorry.
Can you repeat that last part? Enhance gave you
a quote of $8,000
For
for
what?
licensing to present it to other manufacturers.
But you can purchase it already manufactured? Or you can then suggest we want it to be blue and it should have this feature?
Right, yes,
Okay.
our own changes.
And then how much would that cost? So just to take it as is, how much per unit?
$13.
$13? And if you buy their unit, would you have to do licensing?
At this point, I'm not sure about what exactly we're gonna need if we buy from them or if we create our own product. I understand that we need licensing for our own. For the most part, I believe it's like reselling, so if we buy one of their products, we don't have to. We just have to buy from them and then sell our own.
So essentially buying from them, it's a wholesale operation where they own all the patents and technology, right?
Correct.
And then that's $13 for the base price. Do you know how much it would cost you per unit? Do you know how much extra it would cost you? So like what, number one, like what features do they not have? And then number two, how much would it cost you to add those additional features?
So we did send multiple emails to Alibaba, however, we haven't got a response at the moment.
Somewhere you talked about packaging, boxing. Did you look into how much that would cost?
Actually, we were looking to it, and we seen various like price ranges, and most of them were like from 5 to 7, depending on how much it weighs and how big the product is. And we were looking at boxing, but right now we are kind of like stuck on the boxing because they sent us. We're trying to get the measures of the product to fit in the right exact box because we don't want to get it in a too big box or in a too small because we're gonna get charged more or even less.
Sorry, going back to the other question about the units. So, and you said there's Alibaba and then there's another company and licensing for $8,000. I guess my question is that licensing or is that them creating a prototype for you? And then do you own the prototype? Like, do we know that?
Yeah, so they mentioned that our idea is 100% ours, however, they're taking 20% royalty.
So you pay them $8,000, they prototype it, then they take 20% of the any sales additional, and then on top of that, you have to pay for someone to manufacture.
Correct.
So they're like a research and development company, then, an R&D company.
Could you go back to the valuation slide? Could you share? Yeah, sorry. Oh, you're good. All right, so help us understand your approach to valuation.
So our approach to valuation, we're pretty much in a financial model where we're actually doing numbers and we're finding out how much our company is worth and how much is going to be worth after we start selling units. And it was just, we started figuring out like that of our year 1, our year 2, and year 3 of how much products we actually sell and how much it's actually going to be worth at the end.
Okay. Now, in that valuation, did you take into account factors like the 20% obligation with the R&D company?
Yeah, but we were looking more towards the Alibaba, so we kind of went a little bit more towards over there, but we didn't but our numbers were coming out way different when we added the 20%.
So how many units would you have to sell in the first year to be on track for your valuation estimate?
500.
Your presentation said 500, but I think in your packet here it says 1,000.
That's most likely a typo. We'll correct that next time. Thank you so much for the feedback.
Because your math makes more sense with 1,000 units. Actually, technically, it is a typo because it's 100 with a comma. But your next then is 1,560 units, so I'm assuming that first one was supposed to be 1,000 units.
I think that the product idea is a great idea. I think my biggest concern is with the licensing play. Like, if we're going to have exclusivity, what's the quality of the product if you're going through like Alibaba versus if you have an R&D company prototype it and then you just manufacture it on your own. But then with that, then I think that there's a lot of questions of like how much manufacturing cost per unit actually is, because you're evaluating it off a $13 unit, but when you're doing less amount, it might be $20, $25, and then it starts to have questions of, okay, so now we're talking about 20% paying someone else plus $20, $30 on top of that, so that's 30 out of your 65, plus then you have your marketing materials and paying yourself, so now your $65 you're probably actually breaking even. So I think that when it comes to that's a big question that you got to figure out. If Alibaba isn't responding, you got to go somewhere else. Another question I have is I mean, really, there's IdeaWorks, there's all these different places here, organizations here. Could this be something that you actually prototype it on your own? Is there an engineer in the group or someone who wants to eventually be an engineer? And it's not outside the realm for you to be able to do that. And then with the prototyping and the R&D, it's sort of the question is also, is there any patents and who owns the patents? Or are there any patents in place? So that's something that you have to think about in here as well, is legal fees, because you have to have someone go through and say, hey, doing patent research and making sure that you're not infringing on anything. So I think that I'm not trying to say that this isn't a great idea. I love the idea. I think that just the numbers when it comes to pricing and the requirement that's going to take to get it off the ground, if you don't do it yourself, it's going to actually be a lot more, to be frank.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that.
I do really like the feature that it's when you set the time limit, and then it just reduces the pressure. So you're still able to finish your shower. So if you have shampoo or whatever, you can still finish, but it's very evident that, okay, time's up. And you're right, it is less enjoyable when the pressure goes up.
As the previous judges have said, I mean, the concept is a really valuable concept, especially in a drought-stricken state. Getting those production numbers solid is absolutely important, because all of your other assumptions will hinge on that. You know, and we see it a lot of times when you have an R&D firm get in place and then they end up being the competitor. You know, so you need to look at legal protection in that case as well. Great idea. And there's, again, getting the finances down, making sure you know your per unit costs for packaging. You know, there's a lot of applications. I'm sure in looking at your social media, so as far as market segmentation, you're really approaching all households. How are you approaching your market segmentation?
So the way we're approaching it are parents with teenagers. However, this could fit anyone with a shower. Anyone that has access to a shower, you can just screw out your old shower and in with the new, and you can use it. However, we understand that teenagers take longer showers because the average shower in America is only 8 minutes, which is not long. However, the number average goes up per teenager.
Okay. Yeah, because one of the things I was thinking with your product, once you got the concept going, is also municipalities and city governments that are on strict water reserves. And so this could be a very valuable technology combined with the public campaign.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that feedback.
I believe there's possibilities to get grants to then basically use that grant money to buy your equipment and then you go out and install it. That's how I got my Ratio smart sprinkler set up. I got it for free. Similar concept here. The idea was to reduce water usage. I also will say about your pitch, it started off very strong, and I think that's because you were very confident about it. You have a good idea that you believe in. Then as you started to get into some of the things like the numbers, it seems like you were less confident in them. And the rest of it, you know, then you kind of slowed down and your presence kind of shifted a little bit. So just a note about your pitch.
Yeah. Absolutely. Good, strong. I mean, you nailed the problem and the solution. What was interesting too is to have 100 survey response is actually statistically very significant. You know, often we target at least 30 respondents. So if you're going to talk about survey data, you're going to want to show that data. You know, to show, hey, here's what the consumers are looking for. Here's the average price point that they're willing to pay. Because if you can tell us that 100 people are willing to pay $120 or $60, that helps us make our decision on whether or not there's a market for the product.
And then also, going off of that as well, dovetailing a bit, break it down by age group as well. So that way we can see, I mean, I'm sure you already know, and you said you did a survey, so my next question is are we surveying teenagers, are we surveying 20-year-olds, are we surveying people who have teenagers? Because that's going to be a big shift, like we're probably going to see a financial shift. So then when you're looking at that data and there's a 20-year-old that might not be in your market sector, you might want to consider like counting them as an outlier and throwing that data point out and figuring out what is your true 36 or 30 market surveys within that target sector.
And surveys are powerful because they give you an opportunity to, you may find that the market segment you're targeting has no interest, but a segment you never even thought of, you know, especially those of us who are older and cheaper, you know, say, hey, I want this, and you may find it in a completely different market segment than you realize. So survey approach was really good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.